Yeah, we really, really feel strongly that everyone is welcome in this space. All artists, all walks of life, and also just kind of like creating a space where they feel safe to explore. I always say this in class like every night. I'm like, up your failure rate, which a good friend of ours said years ago. It's important. It's important to feel safe in this space so that when you get out in the real world, you know what works and what doesn't, whether you're going to the arts or not.
We have kids that have graduated from our program, gone on to conservatory programs, and now are working in the field. We have people that are actually on Broadway. We have people that are out touring, doing technical theater. We have people that are focusing on songwriting. We have people that are teachers. So our kids, our students.
They are our kids.
Yes, but it can get kind of confusing. We have 2 biological children, and then we have about
like 1,000 other kids.
a bunch of other kids. It's more about giving them permission to follow their dreams wherever their dreams are. It doesn't have to be being on Broadway. It doesn't have to be in the arts. It has to be following their heart and giving them permission to follow their heart, giving them permission to challenge themselves, to fail, to think outside the box. And that's what the arts really does. It teaches you the discipline. It gives you that ability to not just think, oh, I got an A on this test. It allows you to kind of broaden your idea of what success is.
One of the things you guys are working on, and it's funny you mentioned kids, you refer to it as your other child, and that's Labelless. So tell us about Labelless and what that is.
Oh my gosh. So we've been working on this for almost 4 years now. It's an original piece that we created dealing with racism, sexism, bullying, mental health, disability,
homophobia,
classism. Started with an exercise in a music theater class where we had our students write down anonymously how they were discriminated against. And we really did just kind of believe it was going to be an exercise. We came home that night, spread out the piece of papers on our kitchen table and cried because it was really apparent that there was some not so great stuff going on. And from that, we created the show, and God, I mean, we've performed it, 4 times now?
Yeah, we've filmed it. We've done it 4 times. We did it at the OTR Film Festival back in 2018. It really was just about empathy, like write down a way that you feel discriminated against, and then we can kind of talk about it so we can find empathy. Because as performers, you need to be able to be empathetic. And from there, it really, like she said, just kind of snowballed into this thing where we realized that a lot of the issues that we felt were like, oh, on the back burner or in the past, just a rearview mirror, are still very real and present to a lot of people. Whether they are present in our lives doesn't mean that they don't still exist. Yeah, it's a constantly evolving thing. And for us as, kind of the parents of this child, to know when to let it sit and when to keep evolving with it, and when to creating and adding new numbers. And
yeah, I struggle with that a little bit. It's like, when do we leave it alone and just take it out to the public, or when do I just continue to keep tweaking it? It really, we feel so strongly about it. It creates that dialogue. It creates those conversations around the kitchen table that I think are important in families and in communities. So we are hoping to get it out again in August here in Cincinnati, with the help of our friends at Brave Berlin, Kristen Schlottman, the film commissioner. So we are very excited to have this amazing creative team to help get it off the ground.
What has been the reaction, not just from audiences, but also from the performers themselves to Labelless?
Oh, wow.
It's
connected to it.
Yeah, it's become a passion project for all of them. Like, they are passing up other jobs to try and be available for this. They are saying, all right, when do I need to let my professors in college know that I need to miss so I can make sure I'm back for it? And it really is, it's a living, breathing thing, because it is their stories. It isn't some hypothetical scenario. It is not some fictional play that's been, adapted from a novel. These are real life people dealing with real life scenarios, and they are their stories.
And I think that's very important too, because it's their stories. They then work with Drew, and Drew then tweaks it and rewrites. And so as you can imagine, there are 20 million drafts of each piece. But it's important. It's so very important for the world today.
And the community that this cast has, you know, whether the show's happening or not, they are constantly in contact with each other, supporting each other, traveling to see each other in different shows, or visiting each other at college, or, you know, attending each other's graduation from high school. It really has become a family. And the safe space that this show creates, it's kind of a juxtaposition, because when they're performing the show, they're at their most vulnerable. They are bearing their souls, and they are letting the public into their lives and their stories. But at the same time, they are the safest, because they are built into this community that supports them and loves them and will nurture them and help lift them up when they fall. So I think, you know, you asked what they get out of it. I mean, I think they get that sense of family, which is probably the biggest joy that we can have in our lives, is to offer that and be a part of that.
What is next for Lachey Arts?
Well, we got two classes tonight. And then
So yeah, lots of summer classes. Yeah. We have our big 2-week camp that we've been doing now for, God, this is the 11th
year.
Yeah. Lots of stuff going on this summer. Labelist rehearsals will take place in this space starting the end of July. There's some interesting workshops and intensives that will pop up on our Instagram and social media, which we like to kind of give back. Yeah, it's never a dull moment here.
Yeah, I mean, we're adding songwriting workshops. Yeah. We're you know, we just hung lights in here, so now we're able to offer kind of a technical theater aspect as well. So we can work on music production, we can work on songwriting, we can work on lighting, sound mixing, as well as dance, acting, voice lessons. Yeah, there's a lot. We don't rest.